Good morning. Going to switch gears a little bit today. I've taken the floor and my rocker panels weren't quite tight to my floor pan, so I ended up having to, here we go. I picked up a little porta power and used it to spread my floor pan out a little bit. The tunnel flexes plenty to do this. So I just use that to spread it out, get it up tight against each rocker, and then drop some screws in it. It's all ready to weld now. I got my ace welder coming in on Friday. He can weld this stuff up so it looks really pretty compared to what I can do. Probably half the amount of grinding. So he's volunteered to come down, give me a hand. So we'll sum that right up. We'll nail off. We'll weld up this firewall to this interface and bound both rockers, and probably the mini tubs, the inner wheel tubs in the back too, and then I should be able to take it from there. So for today I decided, so I got some time, I'm going to start stripping these doors down a little bit, have a look at these. These are factory doors as far as I can tell. I don't believe they've ever been skinned, but I can't swear to that. They're pretty nice. I do see a little bit of fun was had about on the outside. Looks like it was a dent pulled where they screwed holes in it to pull a dent right here. So once I start stripping the outside, I'll know more about what I got there. This is kind of weird to me. I don't know what to think of this, but this both doors are like this. It looks like there was a seam put down through here and then it was separated. I don't know what that's all about. If anybody knows, please, give me a heads up here. But, it looks like there's a little bracket in there that holds this section to this section to keep it from flopping around. It's quite clearly spot welded factory. I don't know why they felt the need to go through and clearance all this out. It looks like they cut the return right off over here and then just cut down through there. I don't know what that is. This is it is a 67 door, so maybe it was some sort of factory refit to fix a problem. I don't know. Both doors have it. The other door's over there. So my plan today is I'm going to take these doors. I'm going to pull off all the hardware, the regulators, the door latch handle, get it all stripped down, and then I'm going to take it outside. I'm going to sandblast the back and then strip the front. I might strip the front first because if I find something atrocious under this primer, then I very well could bag it and buy a new one. So I'd like to use these. They look good. I think it may require some body work on the outside, but I don't think it's a horrendous amount. But if I can get this all stripped down and put into epoxy, I'd be pretty stoked. But I don't think this has been skinned. These look like factory spot welds to me down through here. So this may be an OEM original part, which would be, well, just about the only one I have left. I did look at the fenders, which are OEM. I transferred a lot of the spare parts to a storage unit yesterday. Not spare parts, loose parts, I should say, from the car. And the fenders have got some patches on them. Patches in a fair amount of filler. Not stupid, but quite a bit. I don't know if I'm going to use those or just buy new ones. I might just buy new ones because, hood's new, everything else is new. I'm going to be in it anyway. I've kept them. I'm going to use those fenders to fit stuff up. Make sure everything's right before I put new fenders on it, if I do that. But I think that's kind of where I'm going with it now. So anyway, that's my mission for today. I'm going to strip these down, break out my old sandblaster, which hasn't been used since Christ was a kitten. Then make sure it's not all plugged up. I bought a new valve for it. I think that's going to make it work a little better. It's an old Harbor Freight one I've had for decades. So pressure pot version. So let me get after this. I will bring you back when I have more, if I learn more about this. So that's where I'm at right now. Again, if anybody cares to comment on why these bottoms are all cut up, I'd love to know how that came about. But again, if you trying to make this as transparent and show you guys as much of this as I possibly can. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Like and subscribe. It does help anyway, and helps keep me motivated if nothing else. So the more people I can help out with doing this videos, the better, more I'll do them. So that's the way I'm looking at it right now, and it keeps me passionate about the project. So it's don't want to run out of gas on this. Springtime's here, the weather's getting nice, boats in, docks in. Spent all weekend doing spring stuff. So I finally get up here Sunday morning now, but I should be able to get a full day on these doors. That's my plan. Later. So I moved this show outside because it is messy. So started stripping this door using this stripper from Harbor Freight. This is working really pretty well. The only thing that's weird about it is, watch this. She doesn't jump right to life. It takes a minute for it to spin up. Probably not a bad thing, but you know, for $100, it you know, it always makes you wonder too when you open up a new tool, and in the packaging is a spare set of brushes. Yeah, good times. Anyway, started stripping this down, and the stripper's working pretty good, the conditioner. It doesn't get it real hot, but boy, there was a wow right here. This is quite low. I've been grinding on this for about 5 minutes, and it's pretty defined. You can see where they pulled it. You know, there was some, you know, dent puller attached to this. This is going to have to be worked out. But overall, if that's the worst that I got, I can work that out pretty easy, I think. Everything else seems pretty solid. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep going with this, get it all stripped down, then flip it over and sandblast the back. I haven't tried the sandblaster yet. I've been working on getting that up to date, replacing a bunch of screws, bending back some bent handles. I tested it, it works, so we'll see what we got when time comes for that. But right now I'm just going to continue surfacing these, stripping this up. Here's what we got. There is one little rust patch here. That's fine. An obvious dent pull situation here. This was, I don't know who did the filler on this, but they know their shit, because it was too thick, but you couldn't see it. So there's also a little bit of something going on around here. Looks like the door handle took a crush and dinged it up good. I'm gonna blast that deep sections out where I can't get with the conditioner. And then it looks like here someone healed in the mirror holes, which sucks. So I'll clean that up and get it, punch the holes back through once I locate them, figure out where they're supposed to be. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, a few dings here and there, but I'm convinced more than ever that this is an original skin. So it did have the right color paint under it. It may even have come from this car. I don't know, but it is at least it is an original 67 door skin. So in back. So I'm gonna take the sandblaster now, kind of clean this up, flip it over, blast the backside, then I'm gonna put it in epoxy. I'll epoxy this up, seal it good, so that when we're ready to start doing body work on it, I got a solid foundation under it at least. So I don't, you know, some would say you didn't really need to grind all that off, but not knowing what's under it, better off grinding it off, getting it to bare metal, sealing it with epoxy, and starting from that point. Then, you know, if this door does something weird, it'll be the same weird that's going on the rest of the car, not something funky just because I didn't strip these doors. So here it is. Let's see what we get. I'll bring you back after it's all blasted and we get started on the other one. Okay, well that sucked. Took me a while to crack the code on that thing. It just kept stopping and going, stopping, going. eventually I got it figured out. You got to tweak both valves just a little bit and restrict the flow on the bottom, but also restrict the airflow. Then it shoots a ton of sand, but it does seem to work. So I'm going to blow this off real good, wipe it down with some wax and grease remover, then hit it with some epoxy, just get it sealed up, and that'll be about it. It looks pretty decent. I'm still pretty convinced this is a factory door. It had the factory color under the panel along with the factory primer. So, and of course it still has seam sealer around the edges. It was primed over it, and it will be again. So anyway, looking pretty decent. I'm going to seal this up, get it so it's not going to rust on me in the meantime, and hopefully we'll be in pretty good shape. There's the back. And there's the front, or the outside. Just hit this with that 2K epoxy primer, rattle can. It's still wet, obviously, that's why it looks all blotchy. If you have any questions about how much one of those rattle cans will cover, exactly one door, inside and out. So, yeah, that should do it. You know, this door needs a lot of body work, obviously, but at least now we know what we got right down to the base. So, and it won't rust up. I might strip this one more time before I start body work and use the spray on epoxy, the actual mix and spray epoxy that I put everywhere else. But for the inside it's fine, and for here at least it won't keep it from rusting up over the few next coming months before I get to this point. But anyway, that's it. If I run into anything weird on the other door, I will bring you in. Otherwise, I will just rinse and repeat.